What's up, everybody? It's the Power Rankings Podcast, aka the Power Rankings Show. This is a Power Rankings Show short. I'm your host, Elliot Harrison. I'm joined by Marcus Mosher. That's at Marcus_Mosher for you guys scoring at home. I wonder if does anyone score baseball games anymore? Like, did you ever do that? Did you
Yeah, when I
go
was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's one of the advantages, I think, of baseball versus the other sports, that you could have a score sheet and score the game. It was kind of cool. But we're not here to talk about that. We're talking draft for a little while longer. I'm allowing this. And I just reached out to Marcus the other day and said, hey, man, I'd be curious to know what your favorite pick of each round was. So we're doing a short on that. So we're going to start. Are we starting with the first round or are we going to start with the seventh round?
No, let's start in order. Let's start with the first round.
Okay.
I've got Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback who was selected by the Patriots.
Yeah.
I thought if he went at 5, it would have been a good deal for Seattle. Not only did the Patriots get him, but they were able to trade back from 14 to 17 to get him. A perfect fit in Bill Belichick's defense. Can play outside, can play inside. He's got size, he's got length. He's going to be a star in New England.
Yeah, they certainly could use him. I think this is a good pick. Plus, to be able to get the guy you want and be able to trade down and get some extra resources is always nice. I'm trying to remember what New England got for getting the 3 moves down. There were so many moves.
I think it was a 4th round pick, which
was it a 4th?
Yeah, which is not an invaluable pick.
No. Hopefully, with the 4th round pick, you can get a special teams contributor at the least. But I like that pick. Let's go to the second round.
Yeah, I've got the Las Vegas Raiders taking Michael Mayer, a tight end from Notre Dame. He's the most prolific tight end in Notre Dame history, set every single record, only 21 years old. And he just seems like a Raider, right? He's tough. He's rugged. He catches everything. He's going to play in every game. He's exactly what they've needed now that they moved on from Darren Waller and Foster Moreau is no longer there.
Raiders have had some great tight ends. Obviously, Darren Waller is really productive for them. But, man, you go back to the 80s, Todd Christensen, one of my favorites. The 70s, Dave Casper, Hall of Fame tight end. Those guys were tough guys. But I want to ask you this. Didn't Mayer kind of have poor scores, like athletically? This is not like a great athlete, right?
No, but it's also not a bad athlete. He ran a 4.70 40-yard dash at 250 pounds. It's fine. It's just not George Kittle or Kyle Pitts, but he doesn't necessarily have to be. I think Josh McDaniels there in Las Vegas is going to know how to use a guy like that.
Yeah, there's always an asterisk with Marcus, which is, as long as he likes them, these scores don't matter. Yeah, all right.
That's how those things work.
This is a prediction for third round. It's not going to be a middle linebacker from Texas. So who's your favorite third round pick?
It is not. It's a safety that went to the Bengals. It's Jordan Battle from Alabama. When you're a team like the Bengals, 3rd, 4th round, that's just when you need to find starters because you're going to be losing a lot of guys in free agency as team try to pick over your talent, right? I think
they just lost one to Atlanta.
Yeah, and they lost Von Bell in free agency as well. They lost 2 safeties. Jordan Battle, 44 starts at Alabama, played in 54 games, a team captain, 0 career penalties. He makes every tackle, a plug-and-play starter at the end of the 3rd round. How can you beat that?
Wow, so 44 career starts. They're playing 12 college games. He must have started a lot of games as a freshman.
Yeah. Well, I think he was a first-team all freshman in the SEC, started each of the last 3 years, and Nick Saban calls him one of his favorite players ever to come out of Alabama.
Wow, yeah, it's no safeties went in the first round. It was kind of all corners, but then they started coming off the board on day 2, and this is one of those guys. Let's go to the top of day 3. Favorite round 4 pick.
It's Dawan Jones, an offensive tackle who went to the Cleveland Browns, 6'7", 380 pounds, and nobody beat him at Ohio State. Goes to the Senior Bowl, looks awesome, but falls to the 4th round because I think people are a little bit worried about his weight and whether or not he's very coachable. He goes to, I think, the best offensive line coach in the league in Bill Callahan. If Dawan Jones is going to become anything in the NFL, I think Bill Callahan is going to be able to get it out of him.
I mentioned the other day that I was listening to draft coverage, at least part of the time, not on TV, but actually Sirius XM's coverage. I like to do that. And this is one of the guys that Pat Kerwin kind of was watching in the 3rd round, like, when's this guy going to go? And it just didn't happen. Was this a precipitous free fall? Where did you think he was going to go?
His range is wild. If you would have told me he went at the end of the 1st round to like Kansas City, I would have said, fine, I get it. Yeah. But falling to the fourth indicates maybe there was some more things going on behind the scenes, but super talented player that I think went to a really good system for him.
All right, your fifth round guy, is this a faller or is this somebody that kind of went where you were expecting?
A little bit of a faller. It's Darius Rush. It's a cornerback from South Carolina. South Carolina's had a bunch of cornerbacks come into the league the last couple of years. J.C. Horn,
Mm-hmm.
Cam Smith was drafted in the second round this year to the Dolphins. Rush was a really good player this year, went to the Senior Bowl, played really well, dominated the combine. He fell to round 5 onto a team with Gus Bradley as the defensive coordinator that loves these long and athletic cornerbacks. I think this is a good spot to grab Rush.
Okay, I'm down with that. I've noticed you really liked a lot of the defensive backs that came out in this draft. That might be something we should talk about with Chad. We're gonna have Chad Ryder on this week. Good segue to that. But let's go to your sixth round. We're getting in the late rounds here. I'm really curious. I really want to know who you picked for the seventh round because I have an idea. But let's go to the sixth first.
The last two guys are going to be kind of in the same category. They're injury guys that fell way later than they should have. For me, it's J.L. Skinner from Boise State. He goes to the Broncos in the draft. We're talking about a 6'3", 215-pound safety that plays in the slot, that tackles. He'll come in, play linebacker, but he tore his pec during the pre-draft process. I think he would have been a third-round pick. But getting him here in the sixth round, even if you have to redshirt him a year, who cares? You're getting a starting caliber safety in the 200s.
Tell you what, man, if I'm a safety, like a sophomore starter, let's say for a major program, and I'm kind of a big kid, I'm thinking about slimming down and asking my coach, hey, let me cover the slot whenever I can. I'll take on that challenge because what a great way to improve your draft stock immediately in the NFL right now. Safeties that are slimmer that can do that are invaluable to the team because you don't have to sub as much and all sorts of stuff. But all right, I don't want to get too much on that deep dive. Let's go to your seventh round pick. I was hoping it would be a 5'5" running back. It's not.
No, it's not. My last pick is Andrew Voris, who was drafted by the Ravens. He's an offensive guard. He tore his ACL during the scouting combine, which means he's going to miss his entire year. Without the injury, probably a late second, early third round pick. Still managed to do 38 reps on the bench. Not that that matters too much, but I love the forward thinking by the Ravens here. You draft him, you put him on NFI. He doesn't play this year, but as long as you're willing to be a little bit patient, I think you could get a starting guard by 2024.
Hey, I like that. I'm trying to remember your favorite guy coming in the draft. Was it Tank Dell? Was that
Tank Dell to Houston?
Yeah. And so he ended up going in the third round a little earlier than you thought he would. He went to Houston. Did you like that fit? I mean, do you like CJ Stroud getting to play with him? And he played for the Houston Cougars.
Yeah. What did we say pre-draft? We wanted to see him go to a team that has maybe a non-mobile quarterback that could get rid of the ball quickly and accurately. That's CJ Stroud. And they've already confirmed that he's going to play in the slot. It's a perfect fit for Tank Dell.
All right, your final thought here. I'm asking you for this. Who's your favorite guy out of these 7? Who's the guy that you love this pick? Love it.
It's Michael Mayer, right? I think he's the one guy that you throw out all the athletic testing, you throw out the numbers because he's just a football player. And the Raiders need somebody in the middle of their offense who's tough, who's physical, they can catch all these passes that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to throw to him. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler sooner rather than later.
Okay, well, you heard it right there. Obviously, you can get his take on the Cowboys draft picks, including the 5'5" running back I was referring to in the 7th round on Locked On Cowboys. But we're actually going to keep track of this. Marcus loves his spreadsheets. We're going to keep track of these guys. At some point in the season, we're going to update and see where these guys are at. It's always kind of interesting to do. But for now, he is at Marcus_Mosher. Catch him on Locked On Cowboys. Catch him on Pro Football Focus. I am Harrison NFL on Twitter, and we'll talk to you next time. See you, everybody.